what's going on, Brickies fans? It's podcast time. This one is going to be such a quick turnaround because we have the playoffs pending. And the first round of it is us vs AFC Croydon. But we've got to get there first. Got to tell the story about how it all happened because Saturday was a range of emotions. I remember just from the day itself how busy it actually was. Thank you for everybody who showed up, by the way. And, you know, we'll try and get everyone's thoughts. I've got Derek Asamoah on this pod. Straight after the game, I went up to the player and we got the exact moment that we found out that we were not going to Jersey. Not yet anyways. If we can make it past Croydon, we will be making that trip, or we will be going to Whiteleaf. But at one point we did think we were playing Jersey. The gaffer was gassed and the players were ready. And then it turned around that there was jubilation as we were going to Croydon on Tuesday, so no flights and hotels needed just yet. And I know you fans are eager to get there. I've been in some of the chats. I've seen some of the things that are going on. And I'm so proud of the Brickies fans for even wanting to make the trip and backing the boys all the way. It's nice and loud. Get there. Be respectful. Make sure that we represent ourselves in full voice. Make sure we're respectful in the evening, no matter the result. And let's back the boys up the Brickies. So let's get straight into it. VCD, really sad to hear what's going on with them. Over 100 years in existence. And I spoke to the guys beforehand. I know the management quite well. And they were saying that Saturday was their deadline anyway. So they haven't put anything out yet. But from what I'm sort of gathering from talking to people in and around the club, it's a gentleman who owns the ground. There's already a team in place that would be for next year, so I don't know why they're not letting VCD stay there, but it seems like it's a complicated issue, and it's so sad to hear sort of like those things, and that the guy didn't want to come to the table and now he's at the table, what the expectations are. And you know, for a club that are in and around that area, anyone that's been to VCD knows that it's one of the best grounds to look at. You go in there, it's sort of a bowl, you walk into it, and I've posted a picture of how packed it can be. And if they was to just get youth sides, you know, on those back pitches, that place could be a hub, and a bit like ours, really, a bit like our ground, how, you know, a team in that area could definitely thrive. But also around them, they've got Phoenix Sports, Crayford Arrows, there's another club down the road as well, and it's a very congested football area, but that's probably one of the better places to be. And yeah, you know, it's sad to believe that a club like that are sort of falling out of existence as such. But onto the game, it was one of those games where VCD, they've got absolutely nothing to pay for but pride, but sometimes those are the banana peels. And you had the games elsewhere. You had Faversham, you had Hassocks and Ashford, who everyone was looking at. You had the games above us, which at one point was just all in limbo. And I remember very quickly the game at Faversham that turned on the head. They were 1-0 down, and you know, it sort of simmered us a little bit. I don't think it really reported onto the players, but you could tell in the ground that the relaxed atmosphere was coming in for the fans. And I think sometimes that does transcend to the players. You know, if Faversham take an early lead, it becomes maybe a little knot in the crowd and get on the backs of players when they miss things. And, you know, it's one of those ones where as long as you stay focused, you get the job done. And what a way to start getting it done. 44-year-old Derek Asamoah, his birthday's on Friday, with an absolute lob, a peach of one as well. Goalkeeper off his line. I've still got to go through the GoPro footage as well, and get some of that up. But what a moment, you know. He's beaten the keeper. He stood there, pulls his shirt over his face. I think he's in disbelief that he's got to put his legs for another year. But you know, he feels it, and you'll hear in his interview how much he absolutely loves being a Sittingbourne, because he feels like he gets the appreciation that he deserves at the club. The fans love him. He gets to sometimes play with his son if he's at the level, and obviously he had his young son, you know, and we give him all of the tools to keep showing off his experience at his age. And it obviously helps all the players as well. You know, you had Joe Boshi who was doing commentary a couple of weeks ago talking about how much he loves him, and you know he's a legend, and all the players, they learn from him. He's not just a player that comes in and just wants to earn something. He wants to give something as well, and I think, you know, he's excellent in that. And then I think VCD were trying to give it a go. You know, you had players like Cameron Andrews out there, a great I think he's a great midfielder. He would do better in a team like ours. You know, he's a feisty little midfielder, but he's at VCD for a reason, trying to get his team going. And they had a couple of moments, but we were equal to it. And then the second goal was Swifty from the long throw from Stevo. You know, tight angle, absolutely puts us in front. And it's full control from there, to be honest. Second half starts. Harvey Smith, great touch, takes his time, takes his shot. I know that I had a message from him saying he's buzzing to have got a goal, and he's buzzing to get some time as well. You know, he's lacking that match sharpness, but he feels like he's up to it now. He's up and running. And then Stevo coming out for it and getting a header and lobbing the keeper. You know, fan favourite. You know, all the boys are fan favourites, but Stevo really gives that solidity to the fans that he's been there for some time and he's part of the club. And then the last goal, Boshi hits the free kick underneath. Foxley's there to tap it in, and it gives us that ability that we're gonna move forward. It looks like we've trying to hit some stride, get some rhythm just before tomorrow's big game. And as the game was going on, you know, we'll go back to it, but we'll go back to it now. You know, I remember giving the updates on the bottom as well, because we really wanted Hassocks to stay up and we wanted Sheppey to go down, even though it's a massive game. And we will be seeing, you know, Sheppey in some form or other in the future, whether it's through the cup or through the league, which we don't want. But they stayed up, Sheppey, and it was at one point it was Herne Bay had gone 1-0 up, then it was 1-1, and then Croydon went up early. You know, you thought you were settled with that. And at half time, it looked like it was sort of a done deal. Jersey were in there, Croydon were in front, and you just didn't think they'd blow their lead. You thought Hassocks were staying in the league because I think they were beating Ashford at the time. And then the second half sort of unveiled as, oh well, Jersey are now top because Sheppey have equalised. And then, Sheppey had got ahead, and then Whiteleaf had equalised, and then all the pressure was, well, if Whiteleaf could score, we might have to play Whiteleaf. And then it turned out that Croydon went behind, and all the nerves around the ground were, oh, we've got to start looking. I know fans who are in the crowd talking about having to book flights for Tuesday night, and those are the turnarounds on last day of the season that you want. You know, everything to play for, sort of solidified ourselves, and you know the full-time whistle was we were going to Jersey. Every fan in the ground were looking at it, thinking, how are we going to get there? We're going to make it happen. And about 5 to 10 minutes later, the news breaks out. You can hear the changing room cheering. You know, Mike got it on the announcement. We're going to Croydon because they have equalised at the death. Now to talk about the playoffs. You know, Whiteleaf have sort of lost a bit of form. I think I watched the manager of Croydon. If you want to go check it out, it's on their social media. He was saying that they solidified their playoff spot 3 to 4 weeks ago. And he feels that his team have taken their eye off the ball. Now, you can say that, but taking your eye off the ball and then going into the playoffs not in the best form, going in a bit too relaxed, isn't a great view and can sometimes hinder. But tomorrow will be a hard game. It will be a classic. It will be something that, you know, both teams will want to go for. I remember when we went to Croydon, you know, back at the turn of the year, and it wasn't our day, but it was an open game, and I think that's what we're all hoping for when we go there. The boys to give it their all, have the opportunities, and take them this time, and I think that's important. And the other turn of it is Jersey somehow, you know, they got themselves into pole position for Whiteleaf. You know, Whiteleaf were in that key position. They just had to hang on and get a win on the day, and they didn't, and they are now scrambling to get across the river and all that. And, you know, we don't know where we're heading Friday, should we win tomorrow, but we know that we're in there and we're in with a chance. And I think that's massively important. As you saw as well, we had our stadium sponsor down on Saturday. We had lots going on with Southeastern over there as well. We've got a, you know, massive shout out to Southeastern Trains and Craig for getting that together. And yeah, it was definitely a day of celebrations. You know, we have to thank all the bar staff as well. You know, the groundsman for the great job he's done since coming in. You know, to the photographers. You know, who both of the girls spend their time at the club, working hard, and you know, Grace and Daisy, who really want to excel in their situation, and just the fans. You know, personally for me, since I've come to the club, you know, I've felt absolutely welcome. I know I make mistakes, but again, thank you to everyone. And you've got a board update from Marge as well, who you know, we thank for all of his time, and to every member of the board, people that work behind the scenes and the people that do what they do, people like Jacob at a match day, or you know, Ed, or other people in and around the ground. You know, we won't get another home game now. We will get to see them on May the 8th. We can get a free ticket if you'd like. Sorry, not May the 8th, but in the middle of May for the ceremony with the men's and the women's team. And you know, it's a free ticket online. But we just want to make sure that everyone feels happy, everyone feels thanked. And hopefully, you know, there's 2 more games left in this season, and we can push on. So, other than that, the only thing you really need to know about Tuesday night is parking will be in the overflow car park. Make sure you get there early. Make sure you get yourself set up. Make sure you're respectful. Make sure you're showing respect to the ground, to the place that you are, and make sure you're backing the boys. That's all we want, and that's all Reese wants, and hopefully we can perform on the pitch. I'm going to pass you over to my other guest. I'm going to let you listen to Derek at the end as well. Plus the gaffer, up the brickies.
Good evening, Brookies. Jacob here. I'm just pleased the season's finally over and done with now. We've got the playoffs on Tuesday, which I'm nervously anticipating. I can't wait to just get the game going. I hate this little period where you're just between big games where you just can't wait. Just get the game on and get playing. I'm just really glad we didn't get Jersey on the Tuesday night. And hopefully we get through on Tuesday and see who we face on Friday night. Just as a West Ham fan, an England fan, and a Sittingbourne fan, I just really hope we don't get another penalty shootout. I think I've had enough penalty shootout trauma. Can we just ban penalties already? Just ban them from the game. Go back to goal and goal, I say. But yeah, our performance against VCD, I think, was very, very professional. We only needed a draw, but we went out on 1-5-0. We didn't have to get out of second gear much, but everyone was professional. They treated the opponents and the competition with respect, integrity. We could have just treated it like a friendly against an already relegated VCD. We could have thrown in the reserve team, Sittingbourne Valley, and rested players, but we didn't. The players that played and the few players that were rotated, they all played a good game. They all put in a good shift. They're all obviously wanting to get their name on the team sheet for Tuesday. Obviously, it's sad to see VCD potentially go under, but some good news for them this week, or should I say last week. Their local MP has said that he is trying to get an agreement between the ground owners and the football club. So fingers crossed they can do that. It's not just the local community, it's the kids in the community. I'm sure they'll have plenty of youth teams in and around the area for that play under the VCD athletic umbrella. So just in comparison with Sittingbourne, we have something like 48 youth teams. So you can imagine the amount of kids that would miss out on football if anything happened to Sittingbourne. It's a bit of a wake-up call, it sort of hits home with it being a club so close to Sittingbourne and in the same league. So yeah, it hits home when you see clubs like that potentially going under. So hopefully they stay alive and they keep fighting again for another season or two at least. Yeah, playoffs on Tuesday. I really hope there's a big crowd there, not just the home team at FC Croydon, but Sittingbourne as well. I think our players step it up a bit more when you get the big crowd, like we did at Southend, for example, and like in the other FA Trophy games. And there's a big crowd there. The players normally step it up. So we'll see how all that goes, and hopefully we play again on Friday night in the final. Hopefully we'll see you all there.
Hi, Brickies. Colin here. Just a bit of a recap of the weekend and obviously the week coming up. Could be quite an important week for the club, to be fair. 5-0 win against VCD. Great performance from the team. Goals from all over the place. Defence with Jack and Ben. Midfield from Harvey and Darren, and obviously Derek's chip. I heard him say something at half time. He didn't want to run, so he just took a shot, and it was obviously a great decision that, because it was a great goal. I believe that's number 21 for the season for Dell. He's in great form at the moment. Attendance was great at the weekend. 454, I believe it was, which is fantastic. I think it brought our season to average about 353. I think it was. I think I read earlier on, which I think is great. I mean, last 3 years, you can see the crowds have got bigger and bigger. That's probably due to the success that we've been having. Obviously, last season, the average was probably a little bit higher, but we had some massive games at Woodstock. We had obviously the FA Cup trophy run with some big games, and obviously we had the playoffs at the Woodstock, and obviously we had the early rounds of the FA Cup. So probably not as big as last year, but I think overall, definitely a good number for us, and it's a testament to the team and everyone there. To be fair, like the volunteers and also the people attending the game as well, because it's a really lovely atmosphere. I take my wife and my kids. We go to every game, but I've also brought family down recently. I've brought my under 10 squad down, who are mascots, and obviously they've all said how nice it is down there. And there's no better place to be, as far as I'm concerned, on Saturday afternoon in the sun at the Woodstock watching non-league football. But yeah, I think we're definitely going in the right direction as a club. Hopefully, we can build on that. No matter what happens this week, hopefully we can build on that and then move forward again next season. Last week, I think the key word was momentum. I think we've got some good momentum behind us. We've had a couple of good performances. As I said, goals have been going in left, right, and centre. Unlike the team that we're going to be facing, Croydon, who, if you look at their last 6 games on the form guide, they've only won one. They've drawn, I believe, three and lost two. So they're not in their best form. They're a very good team though. So let's not just look at the form guide. They've got very good players. Um, so they're definitely going to be dangerous. Just need the players 2 more performances like we did against Three Bridges. Hasn't got to be pretty. Just need the win. So all for the win. I've noticed when I've watched us play them teams, Whiteleaf, Croydon, Jersey, Three Bridges, they're not a very physical team. They don't like physicality. So I would like, obviously you just want that, to be fair. Maybe a bit more master of the dark arts, maybe going down, breaking up play, stopping any momentum from if they're on top, maybe go down a bit longer than normal, take your time at corners and throw-ins and stuff. Just that sort of stuff that we've seen at the Woodstock quite a lot lately. I mean, we've played teams lately where they make a sub, then 5 minutes later, another sub just to break up play, then another sub 5 minutes later, but we're on top. It's just something to think about, really. Really looking forward to getting to Croydon on Tuesday. I've never been. Um, I'm hoping there's going to be loads of Breckie fans there. It's an awkward one because obviously it's midweek. Um, I'm hoping you can jump on the coach. That's going to be arranged by Darren. Cheers for that. And yeah, it'd just be great to see as many fans there because I don't get too many fans there. So hopefully we could outnumber them when we get there, and just support the boys and get us through to the next game, which could possibly be Jersey or Whiteleaf. I mean, when I left the ground the other day, literally as I was leaving the ground, we was going away to Jersey, and then when I got to the car, we was at home. Well, we was away to Croydon. So you don't know what's going to happen. Jersey are on some great form at the moment, so you can't really look past them. But you just never know. To be fair, at this league this season, the season for us has been a really tricky one. To be fair, I think if you would have said to us at the beginning of the season playoffs, I think we would have taken it because we're to rebuild from the summer. If you would have said to us when Ryan left and Reece took over playoffs, you would definitely have taken it because we wasn't nowhere near the playoffs. And as I said, we've had to rebuild again when Reece has come in. So I'm not sure there's many teams that have had to rebuild twice this season and done as well as we have. And it's quite scary to think if we didn't have to rebuild halfway through the season, where we could have actually been. We would definitely been a lot higher than we was. So I think there's big props out to the gaffer and the team really for getting us here. It's just two more big performances needed, and hopefully we can get to the Prem. Hope everyone has a good week. Hope we get the wins that we need, and speak to you all soon.
So we did it. We made it to the playoffs. There was an air of inevitability about it, really. I think that if we're being realistic, the results would have to have been quite unusual on Saturday for us to not get there and Faversham to pip us with the fixture that they had and the fixture that we had. But football's a funny old game, and stranger things have happened. It was just a case of us getting the job done, really, and making sure that we took care of our own business, and we did that excellently, really. First half, I thought it felt like an end of season game. VCD kept the ball quite nicely, but without really sort of causing too many threats. We probably weren't as dynamic as we had been in the first half against Hassocks the week before, but we were decent and good value for our lead. I mean, what a goal from Derek Asamoah. I mean, this guy, he just continues to amaze me, if I'm being honest. I mean, pretty much every time I watch him play, I kind of have to pinch myself and think, he's 44 years old, and to still be producing the type of performances that he is on such a regular basis is unreal, really. But yeah, amazing strike for the first goal. It's got to be up there with one of the goals of the season, I think, for us. Second half, I thought we were outstanding. We just got the job done. We made substitutions at sensible times. Those that came on contributed. I think Reece is getting everything right at the moment, and long may that continue. So yeah, on to the playoffs Tuesday night. There was a moment, I think, sort of, shortly after our game where everyone was trying to work out how they were going to get to Jersey, if it was possible on a Tuesday night. And then the biggest cheer I've probably heard outside of a game this season, when the news broke through that Croydon had equalised in the 98th or 99th minute, whatever it was, and that meant that we now face a trip up to them rather than going to Jersey. Obviously, I mean, I think whoever you face in the playoffs, given the fixtures that we've had throughout the season, it's going to be incredibly tough, isn't it? You know, whether we had Whiteleaf, Croydon, Jersey, they're all really good sides. You know, to get promoted via the playoffs is probably, I think, the best way to do it if you can achieve it. But it is incredibly difficult. Got every faith, having seen Croydon a few times this season, that we can go there on Tuesday night and win. The boys seem to be sort of clicking into place just at the right time. We've had a couple of really good performances leading into the playoffs. Confidence should be high. I think we've got the tools to go and do it. Sadly, after not missing very many games this season at all, I can't go Tuesday. I'm absolutely gutted, but I'm sure there will be a massive travelling contingency of Brickies fans. As Gibber said, I think on one of the group chats, this is Southend version 2. The players are going to need all the fans loud and proud, as we always are. And yeah, I'm sure we can get the job done. I hope that Saturday wasn't my last game of the season. I hope there's one more in there for me, which will be the playoff on the Friday night, whoever that may be against. But yeah, I just want to say, you know, after the start of the season and how poor we looked through October, if you'd have said to me at the beginning of November that we would get into the playoffs, I would have absolutely bitten your arm off for it, to be honest with you. I didn't give us any hope of promotion back then after we lost them games against Sevenoaks and Margate and looked, you know, pretty poor if we're honest with ourselves. So for Reece to have turned it round and for us to be where we are now, all credit to him and all the rest of the backroom staff and the players. You know, this second half of the season has been enjoyable, and you know, we look what we know we are, which is a good side. So just want to say good luck to everyone Tuesday. I hope it's a great night. I hope we get the win, and hopefully I'll see you all on Friday.
Afternoon, Brickies. Eve of the playoff semi-final here, but little chance to look back at Saturday, which I thought was a really, really good performance from the Brickies. I think a couple of weeks ago on the pod, I made a comment saying that wanted to see people having fun, smiling, expressing themselves. And I think we've all really seen that in the last couple of weeks. And I think Saturday showed that again. You know, Dell to use all his class and experience to beat the keeper from 40 yards. Takes a special kind of player to have that in his locker. So, you know, that really then set the tone. And I think it just takes that, everyone gets more relaxed and takes the shackles off. And you saw that, you know, we were taking people on. I think you got to give some credit to VCD. You know, 5-0, yeah, it was a deserved scoreline, but they weren't the worst team that we faced this year, I think it's fair to say. And, you know, I do genuinely hope that they find a solution to play football next year. So, yeah, big shout out to them. But back to the Brickies, as I say, really good performance, built on Hassocks, took it to another level on Saturday. And you can see that really thinking about football again, you know, positionings, pressing, passing, where we're going to go next, people giving options. It's just, it's back being really positive flowing football again. The goals, Harvey's absolute cracker, looks up and bang, top corner jobby. So really good, really good. You know, Swifty, Stevo, always dangerous in the boxes. Great to see them getting their rewards. And then at the end, Foxley in the Boxley getting the goal. From Bochi's assist from the free kick, and it's just really enjoyable football again. So massive credit to, you know, the coaches, Preza, playing playing staff just for bringing that back so quickly. Excited now for the playoffs. I think there's a different atmosphere and a different feeling to the previous 2 years. I think we're not, probably who everyone are fancying. There'll be a lot of talk about Jersey and the travel and all that sort of stuff. We've just got to keep playing Brickies football and focusing on ourselves. So really excited to get across to Croydon. Never heard such a cheer for a Croydon last-minute equaliser as we did on Saturday, and it's just the whole feeling. Saturday final whistle was one of excitement, and really want to get that next game going. I thought credit we were able to manage some minutes. It's probably a lesson learnt from last year. You got 2 games in a week now potentially, and we got been able to manage some minutes from Saturday will put us in good stead. You can see everyone when they come on or come into the team, they want to give questions to Preza, and that's really what you want. You want a squad that's hungry and it's competing. So credit to everyone, starters, those who come on, use a rugby term, the finishers, so it's it's really positive. I think excited to see us outnumber the Croydon fans tomorrow night, which we will undoubtedly, and then 2 games and we could be getting promotion, which thoroughly deserved for the consistency that we've brought over the last few seasons, and be sure, nothing short of what we deserve. So, players, coaches, fans, one big last push this week, and we can do it. Truly believe that, and I think, I wouldn't want to face us in the playoffs. So up the Brickies.
I'll be crying.
Derek, 1 goal equaled 1 more year. I'm here with you. This is going to be for the podcast. It's a podcast exclusive. But Derek, how do you feel after today? Well worked goal as well. My God, did you just see the keeper off his line?
I saw the keeper off his line. I thought, why not? Why not? It's a beautiful day. Why not have a strike? To be fair, I thought it was going over, but it came back down beautifully. So yeah,
20 plus goals for the season. Still a playoff game or 2 to go. Hopefully 2. How are you feeling in your mind, and how are you feeling with everything that you've done and achieved in the game so far?
Obviously, I'm very happy with what I've achieved so far, but it's not just me. It's a team effort. About my team, about the coaching staff, about the fans. None of this would have been possible, but we've still got hopefully 2 more games to go. I want us to finish what we started. Oh, someone scored.
Someone scored. We'll find out in a second.
I want to go Jersey. Why not?
We'll find out in a second.
Listen to that.
There's cheers around. We'll find out what that was. Yeah. But I just want to very quickly, you're loved here at Sitting Bull, and you're loved by everybody. And we're about to find out. And we're going to Croydon on a Tuesday. We're going to Croydon.
Oh dear.
Croydon on a Tuesday. Well, we'll save Jersey for Friday,
yeah,
but
definitely.
I obviously want to touch on it. You're really loved here at this club, and your boy, your boy plays here. Your youngest boy is now playing football here, and he's here today. How pleased are you with how the club's treated you?
I'm over the moon. Since the day I walked through the door, everyone's been amazing to me. I mean, it's so easy playing in front of them because they give you that extra boost, extra energy, and I'm so happy that what I'm doing is appreciated, and it means a lot to me.
So appreciated. It's appreciated by everyone here, especially me at the club, because you score some fantastic goals, and I'll rate you for it. Best first touch in the league.
Yeah, definitely. We work on it. He's got a brilliant first touch as well. So yeah,
for a young man. Thank you very much, Derek. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate it.
Cheers, my brother.
Thank you.
Hey, how you doing? You good?
Yeah, good mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Last day of the season here. Sunny. You can see people coming in behind us, and it's a really sad day as well because we're going to be saying goodbye to VCD, who are quite a legacy club in non-league. But I thought I'd get you on, have a bit of a board update, and first of all, let's talk about yourself. What's your role at the club?
Yeah, so been at the club now probably over 6 years. Initially just sponsored the club, to be honest. It was it was like the club was struggling a bit. I helped out with a bit of money initially, and then I got involved. I think that's probably the best way of looking at it, and hopefully I've helped. And I haven't looked back, to be honest.
And now you're on the board, you help make those decisions. Yeah. And obviously you've been involved with a lot of things this season, like helping with getting the new manager in once Maxwell left and things like that. And what was it like getting a new manager in from the transition to Maxwell to getting Reece in?
Well, obviously Max done a great job on the pitch. So it was always going to be a tough one to replace. Obviously we had, some amazing times. So we knew it was going to be a big loss. The Sittingbourne have come a long way in just a few years. We always challenging now, I think, and I think anyone can see that. So we had to get the right manager in who believed what we are as a community, what we are as a club, and there was no doubt in my mind, in the board's mind, who we get in. It was a guy who was close to the players, knows the fans, knows the club. And we knew if we had a chance, like we have today, on getting the playoffs, we had to act quickly and we had to get that right appointment in. And we've been proven right. Reece went on an incredible run. He's got a great backroom staff with Pokes and Ando and Hendo as well, and the rest of the team. And yeah, we haven't looked back. And if you said when they came in that we'd be here, I don't think anyone would have believed it. We really give ourselves a mountain to climb. And touch wood, come back after the game, we're there, and who knows? We'd go into the playoffs as the underdogs, but why not? We ain't scared of anyone, we're ready to go, so we look forward to it.
Yeah, last year it was a really big push as well, and to not go out with that amount of points, and during the off-season your team was ripped apart, and I know that Maxwell was very much a chopping and changing manager, where Reece is a sort of a consolidating manager. He likes to work with the players he's got, get the odd player in. Do you think that this year, being the underdog, Sittingbourne go under the radar?
I hope so. I think so. We've got a core team who believe in what we're doing, and the fans, I think, appreciate it as well. And we're going to give it our best shot. That's all I can say. I speak to Reece nearly every day. We're very close, as I am with everyone involved in the club, and we're just ready to go.
Amongst other things as well, you control parts of the youth section. You're a big, and you run a team yourself. And what's it been like with the youth teams this year? I know this year we're going to try and go to another level.
Yeah, we are. I mean, when we first got involved, the youth teams, we only had about 4 teams, and we've got an extra 0 on the side of that now. So over 40 teams. We've got a women's section as well. Massive shout out to Ben Clements, Angie Delport, and everyone else, and the coaches as well. Don't get enough credit, taking up their own time managing the team. It's hard, and I wish personally I could have done more for them this year. But we're setting a few things in place that we can. We're not only having that side of the development in regards to really progressing as a player, but it's the community angle as well, and we're massive, and I'm really big on that as well.
Yeah, we want to push into our community, and we've got the Born to Win tournament coming up. Do you want to speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we done the first tournament last year. It went really well, and we're actually looking. We've already literally booked up 20 teams, under 7s, under 8s, under 9s, under 10s. We've got a girls section as well, so we've still got a few spaces for the older teams, and we want to keep that going. It's a tough tournament, but it's a great day as well.
And to move back into first team matters as a board member yourself, so you're privy to some of those conversations. I won't try and drag those out of you, but the improvements around the club. Obviously we've had the stand come down. I know that someone's come down and measured it up. That's public knowledge. So hopefully we can get that back in. What other improvements around the club that we're looking for? Hopefully we do get the new ground as well.
Yeah, of course. Obviously young Shane's come in and done a great job with the pitch. And that's forever improving, and I know the board, that's massive for us, because we do try and play as much as we can. We have got, as you said there, we have got someone coming in to fix that stand, or put one up, I should say. And I had a good day. We're meeting with a lot of sponsors for next year. We do make sure we're a sustainable club, and we want to give back to the sponsors for those who've backed us, because we're not, by any stretch, have the biggest budget in the league. We know where we are, but we want to live within our means and just give the fans everything we can as well.
Talking about sponsorship as well, if someone wants to sponsor you, how can they get in contact? Is it just your email address?
Yeah, please, email address or number. I'll come back as soon as I can, but yeah, please do.
Massive benefits as well from being a sponsor. You know, we're obviously social media for us has gone up since November, since the arrival of myself and Daisy, and working with you guys as well. But it's a massive shout out because now we get massive numbers through the door, we get massive numbers online, and if someone is going to sponsor, they can have their self plastered mostly all over our social media, but they'd get a nice brand reach as well.
100%. And I'd like to say as well, we're not the finished article. We don't think we are. So we're all up for new ideas. So please, if anyone's got any ideas, please reach out.
And lastly, I want to give a massive shout out to the fans this year, and I know you will as well, who've given you your support, and also as well, you know, they're giving the team their support, but they're here every week. This club, since I've come in, has been one of the most passionate fan bases, and they're one of the most best followed. And have you got a message for them?
Well, thank you so much. I wouldn't have taken this on if it weren't for the fans. It's as simple as that. It's the reason I'm here. It's the reason I'll continue to be here. They deserve everything, and you know, everyone has their problems, and then it's just we're all like a football family. We really are, and it's an absolute delight.
Gaffer, I know at the end there on the reel you were talking about it smells like Jersey away, but actually it smells like Croydon away. How are you feeling?
Yeah, look, it doesn't really matter who we got. We want to go into the game believing that we can go and win it.
Yeah, and today's performance proved just that. Really, it was about getting the cohesion. But were you pleased with the boys?
Yeah, I think so. I think they've done credit to themselves today. To be fair, I know people put them under pressure and that, but we don't do pressure here. I think the performance-wise was outstanding from front to back. We knew that VCD were going to obviously try and keep the ball and keep it in spells and not slow the game down, but just that. All due respect, they had nothing to really play for, and you don't really making a mistake doesn't really matter in them stages and stuff. But for us, we had to just make sure that we got over the line. I think once we got the first goal, I think we sort of stepped it up a little bit. Second goal, and then our game management was really good.
Yeah, you know, commiserations to VCD who are, after today at this moment currently no longer exist. First goal at Derek Asamoah, chipping the keeper, and then Ben Swift follows it up with an absolute worldie, and then Harvey Smith another worldie, and then the boys just relentless out. Estevo out there getting the goal as well, and then Foxley under the thingy. He plays with the manner of the goals as well.
Yeah, look, like Derek's probably come out of nowhere, to be honest. I mean, it's just a clearance from Stevo. He's in between the centre halves and gone clean through. Probably could have run it through, but decided to strike it from 35, 40 yards. It's a great strike. But yeah, I think the goals today were very well worked goals. I think that we asked them to be ruthless, to be honest, today, because I think you've got to go into the playoffs being ruthless. And I think we nailed it.
Yeah. And you know, we're going out there as well. So many fans here today. At one point, you was thinking you was going to Jersey. I know you was doing the team talk and saying you want to go beat Jersey. And
yeah.
I know you say you don't care, but was you on the bench all looking at the scores?
I wasn't, to be honest. Like some of the boys in that were, obviously, because they want to know who you're playing and stuff like that. And you know, Jersey away isn't exactly on a Tuesday night a great place when you got work and stuff. But look, like I said, it don't really matter who we've got. We're in the semi-final, and we want to win it.
Lastly, we probably end this on most of the interviews at the minute, but there are so many people here today, and it was a bit of a celebration, also a bit of mourning. But how happy are you to send everybody away with that performance, and happy with just getting in the playoffs and making sure it was consolidated?
Yeah, after that's what we've done in the team talk. To be fair, like last home game in front of the fans, you wanted to send them off happy, to be honest. And obviously, that commiserations to VCD. I hope someone sorts something out for them. Because there's a lot of heritage behind the club, obviously over 100 years and stuff. So, yeah, a horrible situation for them. But I hope someone sort of steps in for them.
Lastly, there'll be no. I don't know if there will be actually, but as it stands, no training session before Tuesday night, and then all goes well on Tuesday night. Be looking forward to Friday, hopefully.
Yeah, well, hopefully we look forward to. We got obviously Tuesday first. Won't look ahead of Tuesday. But yeah, look, again, go back to it that the fans today were brilliant for us. I mean, they've been brilliant ever since we come in. And I'm sure they'll bring a lot Tuesday. And they'll be behind the boys and back us, and hopefully we get the result that we want.
Last question, I'm not going to keep you, but you left a few players out today, JB and a few others. Was it just tactical, just to keep people fresh?
It was more, pretty much. Bags obviously has played a lot of games and stuff like that, and Antonio stepped in and he's done really well. Which everyone has, to be honest. I mean, JB, that's the beauty of having a good squad at the moment. I mean, JB's out the squad. Bags obviously today. You got Archie coming in today again. I mean, when he come on, I thought he was excellent again. But everyone that come on when they was called upon, done exactly what we asked, and that's all you can ask.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.